my father really was my earliest influence in photography. All of him and all of his brothers and a lot of my male cousins on that side of the family are all amateur photographers. My mother's also an amateur photographer, and so it kind of ran in the family. But I didn't really get my start um, till 2014, 2015. I was living in the east end of Toronto, and I'd have my cell phone. I lived up on the top floor of an apartment building that was at the top of a hill in the far east end of Toronto, and I could see the downtown skyline. And usually during sunrises, we got like really beautiful skyline photo opportunities there. So I take a lot of photos with my cell phone. And later after that, I moved to right into the core downtown Toronto up on the 29th floor. And so just got kind of really enjoyed taking photos with my cell phone. But in 2014, I had met someone that had never been to Niagara Falls before as they were visiting Toronto. And so I traveled with them out to Niagara Falls, and they had a Canon Rebel T4i, which I borrowed to take some of the shots to the falls. And that was actually the first time I experienced shooting with a DSLR. And when I saw the viewfinder, so when I saw the LCD screen on the back and I saw the image that I took, I was immediately addicted. I was bit by the bug. I was immediately head over heels in love with photography. I knew that I had to get my hands on a camera somehow. And this here is the image that I took back then in Niagara Falls. It was really cold that day. With the wind chill, I think it was like minus 40 degrees Celsius out. It was super cold, but I was just absolutely enamored with this image. I took a few images out of that camera, but this is the one that really stuck with me and kind of started really my journey and my obsession with the art of photography and the practice of photography. It's such a fun thing to do. So that's kind of how I got my start. But when I came home from that trip to Niagara Falls, I remember I told my parents, I said, when I went on this trip, I tried this camera. I said, man, one of these days I got to get myself a camera because that was just so fun and so exciting. And that Christmas, that was, I don't know, I think that was February of 2014. And then so that Christmas in December of 2014, my parents had purchased a Canon Rebel T5i for me, as well as, well, it came with the kit lens, the 18 to 55, and then as well it had they got the telephoto for me, the 55 to 250. Later on, I acquired a nifty 50, a 50 no 1.8, and also my wife bought me when we were dating, when we first got together, a 18 to 135, just like an f3.5 to 5.6 or something like that. But that was kind of the gamut I was using. I did get a wide angle Sigma lens for that setup, which was the 10 to 20 mil f4 to 5.6, and used that mostly for some street photography, but mostly real estate photography and stuff. I didn't really actually use the wide angle lens that much. I relied mostly on the 50 1.8, and then the 18 to 135 was kind of my everyday versatile, duct tape kind of situation lens, right? It was good for most things, even though it didn't really have that real good depth of field. I found for my purposes, it was really good. But that was what I started with.